Okay. I feel like truth movement, whatever, just truth in general is all we ought to be talking about at this point because life is so crazy right now. I mean, in general, it's the most important thing, but if you're not talking about this, if you're not addressing this in some format, then what are you doing? Probably gatekeeping, probably trying to work the system because you're part of the Baphomet or Reverso society, however you want to refer to yourself. Tranny, eunuch, I think, is probably the most neutral. Let's just call them eunuchs. Eunuchs. So I'm starting with the picture here of myself. And what you see here is a skull and bones man. You will not see this, or you will. It is. You will. It's a rarity. This is not common in society. More often than not, you will see people that present as that are supposedly men. They may have a penis, but their body, their skeleton is feminine. It's female. And I'm just going to show you the proportions and just basic things that everybody needs to know. It's not even hard. Straight across, pretty obvious clavicles. You're going to see goiter, like strong veins in the neck, long neck, long neck. They have an actual neck. Straight up and down body. Adonis belt. That's not like ridiculous. Vascularity. Skinny. Big thing. We just don't gain weight. It's just part of. I don't know. Most of the men I know, quote unquote, growing up, said they were endomorphs. That's the kind of uh, appeal to their situation that they would make. Uh, and it was I could feel the nonsensical aspect of that when I was younger, but now I know just how ridiculous it was. And here's just a closer image. See if there's anything else here. The squareness of the jaw is big. And then, yeah, Adam's apple, and then you're going to have this cranium where the forehead goes back like this. Foreheads are more straight up and down with the women. It's softer. The low hanging ears, the base of the ear, the lobe is beneath the nose. Ears hanging high and small for women's skeletons. And yeah, I hate that I have to cover myself up. I think it's stupid. I think I don't really, but it's just the day and age. I know I'm going to be harassed if I reveal my true identity or whatever. And if you know who I am, whatever. I mean, it's not a big deal. But this is the pushed female. This is a Christy Brinkley. This is just an example of what's pushed in the media. Is a swire, which is a in utero, or just I'm guessing it can happen this way too, where it just comes out that they're born with a male skeleton and they have female parts. But I think if you're part of this club, you either figure that out and you just happen to be born into that and you're more of innocent, or you know and you do everything you can to pass. You know the secret that reversos are pushed, and Jack Black. You will find males like this everywhere. This is the common Free Martin is a terminology. This is what you'll find everywhere you look. And people like Hans Wormhat, real what's the word I'm looking for? Torchbearers for this movement, along with his guest speaker, who doesn't reveal her name. Uh, they go on ad nauseum about this stuff, and it's the essence is this stuff is in your everyday life. My mom looks like Christy Brinkley, just in terms of her bones. My dad, he's not my biological father, but my dad looks more like Jack Black. And he's soft, again, not really any clavicles, sloped shoulders, um, eyebrows right on the eyes, and just a general rounded, soft appearance. No Adam's apple. So, interesting story is that something that the guest speaker on Hans's YouTube goes into is she says that like IVF babies have no souls. All right, well, I'm an IVF baby, or I was told that, and I'm a real man, and I guess I think I have a soul. I think I have a spiritual connection, and I'm just trying to see the truth and live a good life. But I've recognized this is the biggest barrier is this. This is the biggest barrier to my exploration is these people, and it's in your family, so they're just gonna keep you in the dark. They're gonna let you go. There's just so many examples of psyops and being kept in the dark. But I'll start with the basic one, in that I was born IVF. Apparently, I wasn't told this until I was 26. So I found out that my father wasn't the one. He wasn't the sperm donor. Uh, he he apparently was shooting blanks, so that she had to go to the California cryobank. I'm actually living out in the Northeast, but she had to go through the California cryobank to get sperm to produce myself and my two younger brothers. I had one sperm donor. My two younger brothers had different sperm donors. They came out as Martins. I am a regular male. So my whole family's reverso. I am the oddball. And this is made obvious in a myriad of ways. So my brothers got to go on trips together that I didn't get to go on. They went to Canada together. I didn't get to go on that trip. I didn't go on a trip like with a brother. If we went on a trip, we went all together, or like one of us went. I went on a trip to Hawaii on my own. Both my brothers in different years went to Australia. So interesting that they went on the same trip. I went on a different trip, and they each went on outings with my mom. I remember at least a couple times to New York, apparently, and I think a couple times to Canada, apparently. Now they probably were having operations done, and there's a slew of psyops involved, but in the for the betterment of this video and staying on point, I'm just getting into the notion that there's a secret club. It's based on, this is the main aspect of it, and I'm going to continue making videos on this, because what else? It's the truth, and the truth is, it's coming closer and closer for me to be Jesus Christ. I've just started reading the Bible. I'm probably like 80 pages in, maybe 100 pages in, and there's aspects of it I don't agree with. Sure. But that name, Jesus, and being synonymous with the truth, I stand for that. And there's something about that being gate-kept. My father apparently is like a repressed Catholic and says it's all about Jesus. Like he had to leave because it was just too much for him. And he probably was being fed the phony charlatan, whatever, the 501c3 church bullshit. And I don't blame him for that, because Catholic Church CC33, and people are like, what's CC33? Oh my God. Most of you are in on the club. Most of you probably know what this means. 33 is, it's in Chaldean gematria, the system of codifying letters into numbers. It's 33. And 33 is their big code, ostensibly because there's 33 vertebrae in the spine, maybe like regardless of their transformation, 33 vertebrae. That's just how they put it. I don't know why they do it. Or it's also just the repeating digits, 33, and if you flip the other 3, it's like an 8, and the 8 on its side is an infinity. I mean, I really don't know. But yeah, this is the kind of thing you see. This is the male you see today. It's a Martin. Hairless, beer belly by the time they hit maybe even 30, middle age, usually bald, alopecia. They're part of the flood crowd. This is the halo representation, parasitic flood crowd. This is what they're part of. And yeah, they basically keep secrets from us. They love lies. They big kept secrets include the fact that the Earth is flat, the fact that dinosaurs aren't real, the myriad of fake animals. I'll go into all this stuff. A lot of it you can just look at Hans's videos. He's made fantastic videos on this, but I will supplement the content, and I do think I have good stuff that he hasn't gone into. Things like organic versus GMO foods in the food system, and how that is just so obviously a satanic deception. Like, why should you have to make the choice between what's a fake food that literally a fly wouldn't touch and would stay around for ages versus what's a real food? You shouldn't have to make that choice, but they make you make that choice because Satan's in control and wants you to be as deluded and stupid and drone-like as possible. Um, so on this note, there's many iterations, interpretations of this, but pretty big symbols for them are the frog. Now, when I originally read about Abraxas through Carl Jung, Jung discussed Abraxas as this Gnostic entity that represents the darkness, whereas Jesus Christ is the light. And you need to have this shadow. You need to understand both sides of the psyche. And it's this tranny thing. Like, it's the same as above, so below, penis and vagina with boobs. It's the same. I embody both. It's a frog and a goat, a goat's Baphomet. And Abraxas is, I guess in this interpretation, chicken snake. But I've heard it as a frog. Frogs and goats both can apparently change gender pretty easily and are often transgender. So it's just a symbol for them. And Carl Jung himself, I mean, soft facial features, has the Cupid's bow. It's just, everybody that's going to be well known is going to be a transformer. Why do you think Transformers, the film series, is so popular? I mean, it's just everywhere. And yeah, the reason I'm interested in him, he's this lauded mind in psychology, talks about archetypes and all this stuff relating to the human psyche, and it's not something that you come across every day. But you have to think his opinion is a bit tainted by the fact that he's keeping secrets and So you really have to find your own way to the truth and save other lost sheep, because a lot of the stuff you're going to be presented with in the mainstream media or just in general is going to be tainted. So yeah, here it is. Here is the everyday. This is probably the biggest population is the Free Martins. You do not see regular men. You do see women, and it depends geographically. Where I live, there is a lot. Like, my whole neighborhood growing up was reverso. Like, I think of like the moms of the neighborhood, and they were all like my mom. Like, she was comfortable, and there was a couple women, but they seemed to be privy to it, married to Martins, and they had taken vows and sold over it's their capacity to tell the truth. And then on the other hand, yeah, I mean, by and large, all the males, like you will not find a man. It is lonely out there, and this is something I want to address. So what I'm used to growing up is a Martin will invite me over, and more often than not, they invite another friend over. And what they do is they talk to each other the whole time while I'm there. And it's sad. And it's not that I don't know, I feel like I'm an intelligent human being. I don't just talk about this stuff all the time. I have a lot to talk about. I have a lot of interest all over the board. I'm a regular person. I'm a beautiful person. Like, I think anybody else is out here. In that sense. Like, in the sense that, like, I guess we're all connected in that. They are part of this secret club. And they'll invite me over. And there's been a couple times where the purpose of inviting me over was to, like, brainwash me or to, like, keep me in this darkness. There was one time I was invited over, and I got invited over to big old Martin's house, and he played this Neil deGrasse Tyson thing, like Cosmos, whatever it was. And he's like, "This is real. You gotta pay attention to this." Like, he said it so condescendingly, like, that I felt the fakeness of it. Like, he said it in such a way that I just was pushed away. It's like when someone, like, shoves something in your face, you don't lean towards it. You don't want to learn about it because it's like forced on you. It's such a thing about school is, like, you have to, like, write up reports on complete nonsensical things from, like, hundreds of years ago, and people that aren't around now and just don't have any effect on your life and probably are fake Masonic characters anyway. For him to push this stuff on me and then, continue to just talk to his buddy the whole time and just pretty more or less just, like, treat me like I'm not there or barely engage with me, it's just telling. And it's the systemic thing. I don't know how I noticed it. I used to take it on myself and say it's my fault. I'm dumb. I'm boring. I'm not intelligent enough. I'm not witty enough. I'm not creative enough. I'm not complex enough. And what it is bam, 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 bam. You're not in it. You're not in the Flippo Club. You're not part of the flood crowd. You're not doing the steps. You're just a regular human being. And I guess the good thing is we don't have to do all this plastic surgery. We don't have to do all this testosterone, HGH crap that they're doing. That's the benefit. That's the good thing. But they get perks. They get to travel usually if they're like decent. It must suck if you're an invert and you're not like connected. You're bottom of the pyramid, because what is the point? Why are you not shouting at the top of your lungs, this stuff sucks, I'm not doing it? Because oh boy, is this ridiculous. The perks are not that great. So yeah, this is the norm. This is what I would see. I get two of these guys together and they would hang out with me and just pretty much giggle to each other. And yeah, I'm not gonna like, I've had good moments with people of all types, but I don't even know if I've met a real man. Like it's that harrowing. And wouldn't it be nice to meet someone who looks like me? Wouldn't it be nice to have that connection? And it feels like Hans is like the only guy I've ever heard who has that connection, and he's helped me wake up, and I'm very thankful for that. So this is what they want. They want you to be totally warped in outer space land, looking like this, hefty man Jones, and you're playing Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger, and look at that. The photo happens to be 33 because this is the Matrix. This is the Matrix. Oh yeah, I'm super cool. I'm at Disney World playing, shooting asteroids, and oh my god, it's amazing. Like I fell for it to some extent. Like I like the Metroid video games. I Star Wars, I didn't quite ever like, but I saw some appeal to it. I mean, I always felt like it was weird, the notion of like going to Mars. I'm like, we have a lot to fix here. Like there's not like this is not going well. Like we have problems. Like there is some serious stuff that needs to be. And now I get it. The secrets, all this stuff. That's what's preventing it from happening. Get these people out. They're not nice. They keep secrets. They have hand signs. That's all they have. They're tares. They're talked about in the Bible. They're tares. So low battery. I've got to really get to the point. So I grew up listening to lots of music, and one of the albums I was privy to was Built to Spills Keep Like a Secret. Enjoyed it from just the sonic perspective, but now that I understand what this really means, it's a Martin, really a girl, but they're like wearing a disguise, and what they keep it a secret. Why? What's the point? Just say intersex conditions are common. It would be nothing. Why'd you have to create this stupid matrix? Why couldn't you just say, hey, we're all going to get along. It's not a big deal. Intersex conditions are nothing. They don't do that. They only show intersex conditions in the media. They only take in intersex conditions for big books. And like, it's just not fair. It's a completely rigged system. So hard for me to support this. All the people in the band are obviously Martins. And then this person's wearing orange. Orange is the only color in Chaldean or in Gematria that's 33. And boy, oh boy, 33 is their coding. Orange 33 is their major unity coding. You're going to see it everywhere. Why is this vacuum cleaner called 33? Oh, probably because the creators of the vacuum are part of the club. Vertebrae, you could say, but it's part of the club. I picked up this blue monkey. This was given to me as a gift when I was younger. And I don't know if it was my brother who grew up loving orange and just being ensconced in orange and just wearing orange all the time, orange sandals, just nuts about orange. But he, or my mom, wrote Orange 33 on it. Gee, wonder why. Maybe it's a fake animal. Gotta be. Hans brought up something in one of his videos about the gestational age of a great white shark being 33. Such bullshit. Doesn't even exist. Fake animal. It's just a little bit of coding to say, hey, keep a lookout. This is probably fake. It's magic, quote unquote. Disney's Club, 33, black and white symbology. All the people in Walt Disney's world are going to be inverted. Walt Disney was likely Hitler. Rolling Rock, 33. Why would they put a 33 on it? Oh, because they're shouting out to the club. Ritual sodomy, anti-messianic, obviously going against Jesus, blaspheming Jesus. Something about that name. Obviously, there's a connection. He's real. He's the connection to God. I mean, it's this notion of truth being the guiding light and not being somebody who is vain and just looking for like, comment, subscribes, but is genuinely just trying to tell the truth. And then this is a pivotal point about this paradigm where there's a big game that came out on Nintendo 64 in 1998 called The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. And in this game, this is referring to the real man or rare aspect, where in this game there's a civilization called the Gerudo, and then the Gerudo, a man is born every 100 years in their society, and it just so happens that in this game the main antagonist is this man. So you look at things like the Truman Show, where everything's surrounding him, and he's the one that everyone's looking at. Everything's built around him, but there's no one like him. No one. He doesn't know what he's in. It's the same idea, where they have warped things and made it seem like regular men are just these oddities. They're rare. And what are they made for? They're made to like make fun of, to like psyop. And then once you don't believe in their magic, once you see them for what they are, the magic drifts away. And it's like the satanic magic goes. And now I'm like, for me, I'm just in this state where I'm like, what am I doing? How can I contribute? And I think it's this truth. Truth is, it's the answer. How do you contribute? You make truth. So it's Isaiah prophecy. We're living in that time, and I'm just hoping to connect with men, women, and on and so forth. Um, we need to spread this truth. It is imperative to our to the guiding light of this time and our connectivity and making good things happen. I think much of it will occur um, through networks like these, but then also in the day to day, just calling out things for what they are and playing against the system's logic. We can do this. And this is just a drop in the bucket. I will make more and more concentrated videos on topics like I mentioned before, like food and myriad of other things that are needing to be addressed and called out in this place. So signing out. Talk to you another time. God bless.